brewing. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why is every single how-to brewing video so goddamn long? Well, guess what? This one isn't, so buckle up. Now, all brewing consists of two main ingredients, the wash and the yeast. The wash consists of three parts. It consists of sugar, water, and something starchy. Now that something starchy could be corn, potatoes, wheat, apple, pears. Or with most do-it-yourself brewing kits, it will be some kind of a syrup concentrate, either in a can or in a bag or sack. Now look, if you don't understand the brewing process, you're just not going to be good at it. And so let's get into what actually happens. Brewing is making something go off in a controlled environment. You control what goes in and what's in the keg because you sterilize the keg. And then you add the one thing that does the one thing you want it to do, and that's yeast. And what does yeast do? Well, it eats sugar, it farts out CO2, and then releases alcohol. So naturally, the longer something brews, the drier it will become because the yeast is eating away the sugar and turning into alcohol. This also allows for self-carbonation, which is, yeast continues to eat sugar in the bottle, which releases CO2, carbonating it. Now on this occasion, we're going to be using a concentrate, Cooper's Lager. So what are we going to need? We're going to need the concentrate, we're going to need a kilo of sugar, plenty of water, and the yeast will come with the concentrate. Now as with a lot of concentrates, it will actually recommend a sugar replacement, which is still a sugar, it just has a couple extra goodies. Brew Enhancer 1 is what Coopers recommend with their original lager. So what equipment are we going to need? We're going to need a keg, an airlock, a pretty long spoon for stirring, and we're going to need a sterilizer. If you can find a no-rinse sterilizer, that's going to make your life a lot easier. Alright, let's get into it now.
Steve, I've read about final gravity and I've taken a measurement before, but I just don't know what it means.
Well, it's actually quite simple. The more sugar there is in the brew, the higher the hydrometer floats, so we can gauge how far through the brewing process we are, because as we know, yeast eats the sugar. So the lower the hydrometer gets, the less sugar there is in there, and hence we're near the end of the brewing process.
That makes so much sense.
Yes, and if you look on the hydrometer itself, it will generally tell you what areas to look for different things. Like dessert wine will be right down the bottom because it's so sweet, the hydrometer will float so high. But with beer, dry, it's right at the top. So it just starts a little from the top and then goes almost right up to the top when we're finished.
Wow, there you go.